I stopped using social media almost a year ago, but I want to go back to Instagram to see the people I love and share photos. How can I still use social media without costing me my peace, focus, and free time? Very good question.
It is indeed, because we hear a lot about how social media is terrible for your happiness and for your focus, lots of things, and I agree with most of those points. So, but we both have social media.
Yes, we
and
do.
use them to varying degrees.
I know you were reluctant about Instagram for quite a while, but
yes,
now you
because
have it.
I, in theory, hate social media. But really, I hate a certain pattern of use.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I know people who every spare moment of the day, they're on their phone and they'll get sucked into it. So one, they're not present, but two, they end up wasting a bunch of time. So if, they were going to roll right into something and maybe had a 5-minute break, now it's a 15-minute break. And they're distracted trying to roll into the next thing. Now, I feel you're better at this than I am, so I'll let you take the lead on it.
Okay. Well, let's see. As far as straight-up tips to use social media go, I would say consider taking the app off of your phone. Twitter is not on my phone. Instagram is only because I cannot upload multiple images, and I occasionally do. I have to use the
album
app.
Thing?
Yeah, I have to use the app for that.
Okay.
I can't just use my little browser workaround that I talked about in whatever episode that was.
Whatever episode it was.
Yeah.
It was in the last two.
It was within the last two. But if it doesn't need to be on your phone, it shouldn't be. If it is on your phone, turn off all notifications and badge icons and hide it somewhere in a folder so that it's hard to get to.
I feel personally attacked right now.
We need the 20-second rule here. Those notifications are going to stop you no matter what's going on. And if you need absolute control, there's the Freedom app, right, that you've used. I don't personally use those because eventually I find them too restricting, but they can work if you really need it.
I'm going to talk about it. That's one of my notes here.
Let's see. Oh, also, keeping your phone away from you because you shouldn't be on it in general. So I prefer having like a messenger bag if I go somewhere with my phone in that rather than in my pocket.
Okay.
Because it's a degree of separation. And that means that if my phone vibrates or has some stupid nonsense, it's in the bag. I don't really notice. So I'm carrying a little notebook and pen in my pocket where the phone goes. So when I think I need to write something down, I guess I'll actually write it down because I reached for my phone, but I got something that doesn't take me out of the moment and make me say, I might as well check Instagram while I'm writing this note down, and then I forget what I'm doing. But when the phone is farther away from you, it is better. And maybe if you're being really in the moment, straight up turn it off. Yeah. Just as long as it's inconvenient to use it, you'll use it less.
And for anybody who hasn't seen the video we did about the 20-second rule, basically the idea here is that any activity has a certain amount of activation energy, which is what the guy who wrote the book that this term comes from calls it, to get into doing it. And activation energy could be the amount of effort it takes to do it, but it also is the amount of time it takes to do it. So the whole idea with the 20-second rule is if you don't want to do something, then make it take more time, hence using more activation energy to do it. If you want to do something more often, then lower that activation energy. 20 seconds is not scientific. It's just a nice,
it's just random,
quippy number that works really well. But if you want to play guitar, then buy a guitar stand, keep a cheap guitar out in your living room all the time, and then you're just going to pick it up because it takes 3 seconds to do it. And like you said, if you have your phone in your messenger bag, then it's going to take you a lot more time to actually use it. I mean, you could even turn it off during the day if you really wanted to. Then you have like a minute-long boot up time.
Need it most of the time. It's really about taking advantage of human nature to be lazy and impulsive. So
exactly, and you got to remember that these apps are built by like some of the smartest people in the world with the specific intention of having you use them as much as possible.